Hi everyone. Today we are here with Sameer Chaubey. So Sameer is from engineering background and he used to work at Deloitte, and now he's just cracked ISI, and now he's going to do his masters in economics. So from science to working in a accounting company to now a masters in economics. So Sameer has seen it all. So Sameer, firstly, you said that you gave the exams last year also, but you couldn't make it. And this year, so then you thought in 2023 you must have also given the exam, right? That must be your first attempt.
That is true.
Okay. So 2023 was your first attempt, and then so this was your second attempt.
Second attempt, correct.
Can you share what was your score in 2023 for the people who are listening?
So I didn't even check it because I didn't do it good. I was not prepared. I hadn't read economics properly. I had mathematical background, so I was a bit confident in mathematics.
Okay.
Statistics I had covered sufficiently, but I was not prepared in economics. So I didn't even check it. I just saw the list. My name was not there. Then I thought I need to move on. I need to prepare again.
Right. So let me start first by asking that how intimidating is the syllabus for a non-economic student?
So if we stick to syllabus, like whatever is mentioned in the syllabus, it is not really intimidating. Like that's what I thought. I stick to standard books. I stick to a couple of books, one for micro, one for macro, and I supplemented it with the
Which
course
ones
material
did
of
you start
EduSure.
with? So those were the
For
first books that you were reading on economics, on the
right,
theory of
correct.
economics.
On core economics, they were the first book. So
First
I had,
books.
yeah. So for micro, I read Hall Variant, and that is the only book that I read. Like I stick to it, and by the end I knew which topic is where, and if I see a particular question, I knew if I'm not getting it, I knew which page to open and what portion to read. So that was the advantage of just sticking to one book and not
Right.
going to different books. So for micro I stick to Hall Variant. For macro I referred Blanket.
To
I
Blanchard. So
started with Don Bush, but yeah, I started with Don Bush, but it was a bit difficult. So I switched to Blanket, and that was very convenient. So then I read Blanket properly, but in case I needed to supplement any topic, I used to open Don
So
Bush.
this is something that I completely believe in, to stick to one book and to do one book end to end. So you make sure that
Yeah,
everything is covered wherever it is in the
right,
book,
right,
and it gives you a lot of confidence to know that
correct,
हाँ एक
correct,
पूरी book मुझे आती है.
right.
And in case there's something that you don't know, you can always see
Yeah,
another book for
you
that.
have an idea which topic and which portion to read from.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I also believe it doesn't really matter which book it is. So, like you said, you stuck to Varian, which is
Right,
supposed to be good for consumer behavior, but not the best for, let's say, markets or GE. But you stuck to that, and it seemed to be good enough. So it also
right, right,
proves that which book is not important, but sticking to one book and doing it fully, that is more important.
right.
Right. Okay. So, Sameer, and then did you give all the entrances this year? So did you sit for IIT and CUET and everything?
So I did, like my target was basically ISI, DSC, and IGIDR. I had only these three colleges in my mind, and I had predetermined if I don't get into them, I'll
Yeah. So you were saying that you wanted to only do ISI, DSC, and
IGIDR. These three.
IGIR. Okay. So did you sit for IIT? Yeah. Did you sit for
Yeah,
IIT?
yeah. But I did give the exam. Like I did give the exam. I thought that it would be a good
Practice.
yeah, good practice. It would let me know where I stand. But during that time my syllabus was not complete. I had not completed macroeconomics and even statistics and econometrics. I had not covered properly. So again, that exam was not very good. So even statistics I had not solved many questions, so I was not very confident in that. I was doing micro when I had exams for this IIT jam. So and
All
I
right.
had yeah, I had not had much practice also of solving questions, just reading theory. And so
So this is also interesting because everybody also takes IIT as like the, precursor to what is going to happen in ISI. But you are saying here that not from eco background, and till February, which is when the IIT exams were
right,
there, you were not confident with your macro or your stats.
right,
Because being from engineering background, maths would be the
yeah,
easiest for you. And
true,
then comes micro because mathematical foundations are there to a lot of the things that we do in micro.
yeah. Yeah,
So,
and I
and
started I started with micro, so like I was able to cover it before. Then I started macro, so I started macro probably somewhere in January,
we
December
started
and
macro in
January.
January.
Yeah,
And being completely new, How much time did it take for you to get a hang of what we were doing and what was happening?
I took like a good 2.5 months to complete macro, and before that I had already done micro and mathematics. Statistics was something that I had some idea, but I needed a lot of practice because given the type of questions and the variety. Yeah,
Yeah. They're not absolutely not standard. Matlab, to do
right,
probability distributions and everything. That
right,
is, I
right,
don't
right.
think you would have done all that before.
Yeah. So that was it. So I completed my syllabus like before CUET. I had completed my syllabus. I
Okay.
was prepared up till CUET. I gave a week or 10 days for Indian economics also. But b- uh, 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 till the time that CUET exam was there, I had completed my syllabus, and CUET was the first exam where I was fully prepared. And after that, like for me the most important part of my preparation was the 2 months that I got between CUET and ISI. That was the time when I was able to solve past year problems. I did it twice. I remember some kids are told to solve it 4 times, but I did not had that much time, so I did it twice.
So basically, I was talking to another student also. The calendar this year helped that the calendar was distributed. So you had
Right,
one exam, then another exam, then another exam. So you exactly had time in
right.
between to focus. So were you working along with preparing, or did you leave your job and you were solely focused on preparing?
No, 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 no. So that was the difficult part for me because I had a full-time 9 hours job from 12 to 9. So I used to get 2 hours in the morning and then at least 3 hours or something in the night after completing it. So I was preparing along with the job. So that was a
So you
non-negotiable
had a
that 9 hours
full-time
I could.
9-hour job.
Yes, that is true.
Oh my God. And when when did you leave the job?
I just resigned after ISI result came. So I'm on notice period right now, still working.
After the ISAT result came, so during the entire time you were working for 9 hours. And
Yeah.
along with that, in the morning, evening, like जैसे लोग स्टार्टअप करते हैं,
हाँ.
ये आपका स्टार्टअप था जब सुबह 2 घंटे और शाम को 3 घंटे दे रहे थे.
राइट, ट्रू, वैसे ही चल रहा था.
Oh wow, that must be taxing, Sameer.
Yeah, that was, but it was a good experience for me. I mean, yeah.
That was wonderful. That is why I think you went with the self-paced program because classes तो आप attend
True,
कर नहीं
true, true,
पाते.
true. Yeah,
So,
I spoke with one of the counselor from EduSure, and he was asking me to take the full-time course, but I did not have time. Even if I would have
yeah,
taken,
you couldn't.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's why
yeah.
I
So
took
even
the shift.
after we transferred you from the self-paced to the, uh, I think we transferred you right in the middle from the
Yeah,
self-paced to the topper program.
I think that was done after CUET, like
Oh, after
in
CUET. So that was
yeah,
much later then. That was
much
just
later.
then just for the ISI period.
True,
You were
true,
there
true. Only for
in the
ISI, yeah,
full-time program. Okay.
yeah,
All right. So that time it was just basically doubts and questions. It wasn't, but as
right,
such, there were classes were not going on. But
right,
anyways,
right.
you couldn't have attended classes. You couldn't have only.
Yeah, that was a constraint for me, so that's why I had to take the self-paced one.
Yeah, yeah. So this is Sameer. I mean, I'm sure there must be days when you have work pressure and you have
True.
it just gets too much. How did you cope up with everything?
Right, right. So weekends were blessings for me because that 2 days, Saturday, Sunday, I did not have to worry about job, and those 2 days I was able to devote completely here. But even I had made a monotonous routine for myself. I used to wake up at 9, and I used to get 2 hours in the morning for sure, and even in the night I used to take at least 3 hours. So those 5 hours I had for studies. Apart from that, whatever I had in between, I had my job. So it was a bit difficult because switching from the job mentality to coming back to studying and remembering the same thing the next day, it is a bit difficult, but it starts to happen once you get into a monotonous routine.
So what motivated you? Because I mean, you already have a job. So was that
Right.
the motivation that I want to get a higher level job and I want to take this route to do it? So did that motivate you? What kept you going?
So I wanted something which is academically challenging. So I have energy right now, I have ability right now, but simultaneously I didn't want to subject myself to vulnerability. That's why I didn't quit my job. I was pursuing it also, but
Okay.
I was taking some time just for myself and for preparing for something that I wanted to do. So that's what kept me going. So even right now, I chose only the top three. Like I had determined that I wouldn't be leaving for any other college. So I decided that I'll go only to these three colleges because there I'll have a lot of opportunities to explore and to challenge myself and to learn properly. and get some expertise in the subject that I want to study.
Right. So you were treading into a new field and you were doing it, you know, you're doing it along with having to put a lot of your energies in some other place. So your
Right,
energies were divided, your
right,
focus was divided, and still, I mean, you were able to achieve this. So that
right.
is amazing, Samir. So can you tell people who are listening that from when did you dedicatedly try and give 2 hours in the morning and 3 hours in the evening? Because this is a question I always get: how much time is enough? How much do we need to study?
Yeah. So again, this depends person to person. Like you have to make strategy. You need to stick to syllabus. Again, I did not have time much to dwell into. There are a lot of distractions. You go into reading the subject, you'll find some topic which will fascinate you, and you would want to read some extra books. Sometimes you can find so many books, right? You can just go into reading a lot many books. So I kept it simple for me. I had the syllabus stuck to my wall, and I was going topic by topic, and I just stick to a couple of books. I didn't make it complex. I didn't go into a lot of books or a lot of study material. So that is something that worked for me. So again, a number of hours, it depends on individuals. I think 5 6 hours was sufficient for me, so I think it should be sufficient for anyone else.
So what I understand from hearing this is that you went at your own pace. So usually
Right,
people are very concerned
right,
about what the other person is doing, how much they have done. But
right,
it seems like you went at completely your own pace. Like you said, you stuck to your goal, which was I have to do one book for micro, one book for macro, do this for maths, do this for stat. And you systematically were just doing what you were supposed to do. So
right,
much that you are saying that you actually practiced for ISI past year papers only post CUET when you had the focus was only on ISI at
right.
that time. And before that
Yes.
was your time. So usually what I recommend is that you do up till December, you do this. So up till
Yeah.
December, you try and finish your syllabus so that you can then start preparing for IIT when it comes and CUET when it comes and ISI when it comes. But because of your job and whatever, that you had to delay that, but you just kept going, like slowly you
Right.
kept growing
Right.
going.
Right. So that is a thing. I mean, it's ideal that we have it completed by December and we
Yeah,
get enough time to practice questions for from the perspective of all the exams. But
yeah.
again, my situation was different, and I did not have time to worry or think that I'm lagging or I have like people are going ahead or something like that. I just kept it simple. I thought that I have this syllabus. If I complete it by then, I'll get 2 months of time to solve the questions. And even like even for the 2 months, I remember what Samkit sir has said. I thought maybe I can try to solve the papers for 4 times, but it was not possible to do it in 2 months. I did somehow. It took a lot of time to do it for the first time. The second time was a bit easier than the first time. So again, the time got over in that only. So I did it 2 times in that.
Right. Out of the syllabus per se, so what did you find tough from a non-eco perspective? Like to understand, like you're saying macro, you took quite a lot of time. That was 2.5 months you took. Given that the macro syllabus is also not very vast, it
Right,
is pretty
right,
concise,
right,
but being from non-eco background, it took you a lot of time.
right.
So anybody who's coming from a non-eco background, uh, what would you suggest? Like, do you have like a having done been there done that, do you have kind of
Mm.
a like people usually say that maths to humse ho jayega, so was that true for you that maths to ho hi jayega and focus more on the other topics?
Yeah, that was a thing. Like I didn't focus much on maths, especially because I had concepts. I only had to practice questions. So I thought that yeah, practicing question would come when I do it. But for economics, I had to build concepts also. I had to understand what is going on. Yeah, so I had to read multiple times. I had to go through all the books, and I had to link it with the questions, and I had to make sense what is going on and how it is happening. But ultimately, it started to make sense.
All right. And in terms of practice, did you take the mocks and the tests, or were you, like you said, you hadn't really finished the syllabus and everything? So were you giving regular tests, or that is not something that you were able to do?
The weekly tests.
Yeah.
So I was not very regular. I used to give wherever it was possible, but sometimes it used to happen that certain topic, there was a test of certain topic, but that topic I hadn't covered, so
You
it was
hadn't
not
done.
possible for me to attempt that test. Even if I attempt it, I would be clueless. So I have faced that scenario. So I have missed a lot of tests also. But wherever I had done, whichever topic I had done, I used to take those tests.
Okay. So I was speaking to another student yesterday, and he used to do well in the weekly test. So he said that used to give him a lot of confidence that okay, one bit I'm doing well, and that would
Yeah.
kind of push him, motivate him to do harder.
Right.
Now I'm talking about the other perspective. Let's say you are there. You are seeing this other person doing well in the weekly
Mm.
tests.
Yeah.
Okay. But you are not able to give it that much time. Let's say because of your job or because of your background, you don't have it. Did that demotivate you in any sense? Seeing other people do well.
So yeah, I mean, there is a demotivating factor about that. You feel there's a feeling that you would feel that you're lagging behind and people
Yeah.
are going to do better than
That's what
you.
I wanted to know, that how does that play
But
on your
for
psychology?
yeah, but I used to tell myself that my situation is different. I'm doing it along with things, and like those things I would tell myself to just to keep my motivation up. That uh, my situation is different. I'm getting less time, and I have to stick to what I know. And ultimately, my goal was to do a lot PYQs for ISI. That helped me build my motivation. So as I was solving each paper, it was helping me with my
The fact that you were able
motivation.
to solve the questions, that was your
Yeah,
motivator.
right,
That
right,
after whatever you've done, after you look at a question, then you're able to solve it.
right, right.
So yeah, Sameer, so it's been a long journey of persistence. I think
Yeah,
that's what has been for everyone. That it's just
true,
it's those who are able to keep themselves motivated and
true.
persistence. It's the same journey for you.
Yeah,
So many congratulations, Sameer, on what you've achieved, and
thank you so
I
much.
hope you have a great time at ISI, and
Thank
you all the best wishes for a very
you.
successful career ahead.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Any other last tips or anything that you would like to share with your juniors, whoever is thinking of, let's say, attempting an exam like ISI, because it can be intimidating, 50 seats only. I hear this a lot, that why even try, it's just 50 seats. So anything
Yeah.
that you'd like to say?
So from my experience, the thing that worked for me is keeping it simple, sticking to syllabus,
Yeah.
not dwelling into a lot of course material, because you have so many resources from all around. So like it acts as a distraction sometimes. You get
Yeah.
so many things that you want to read, that also and this also and everything. So there's a tendency to get lost in those things. So I would say to keep it simple, stick to syllabus, read standards books, stick to those books only. And again, PYQs are very essential. So that helped me practice for ISI. I was able to do it only twice. But again, someone who has done it thrice or four times, he would have a different level of confidence. So if someone can do that, if again the advice that you were giving to complete the syllabus by December, and if you are able to give 3 4 months to solve PYQs, that is
So
definitely going to
one
work.
last thing, Sameer, that sometimes people tell me they've done the PYQs 3 4 times, but they are not able to finally do it in the exam. So what I feel is that when they're solving questions, they have a tendency of maybe looking at the solution, because you have all the solutions right there
Right,
at your
right,
tip. So
right,
maybe they have a tendency of looking at the question and seeing कि नहीं हो रहा है तो चलो solution देख लेते हैं.
right.
So
So
what did you do? Did you not look at the solution till you tried, or how did you do that?
so I used to give my 100% first. So I used to try, even if I'm going in the wrong direction, I would give it a lot of my energy to see how I'm able to do. I used to try my best first, and then I used to open the books and like not going to the video solution of your search solution, but I would open book and I would try to find that particular paragraph or
Topic and
yeah topic where it is given, and applying the concept from there, finding a formula or something that works.
right.
If that doesn't work, if I'm totally clueless, then I'll go to the video solutions.
Okay. So you didn't give into the urge of अरे नहीं हो रहा है क्या करें
Right,
चलो
right,
देख ही लेते हैं. अगर and
right.
कभी time कम हो तब तब जब urge ज्यादा होती है कि अरे time नहीं है, did that happen?
So that happened with me. I had a different plan. I thought that I would be able to solve like past 10 15 years, given I was also devoting weekends completely, and whatever time I was giving, I thought that I would be able to do it in at least a month. I would be able to do it, but it took more time. I had only 2 months, so first attempt only went more than a month. Second one was easy because I had already solved it once. So
Hmm.
a lot of questions were I was able to do quickly. I was getting stuck only in a few questions. So that used to happen, but that would, like, for someone who has 3-4 months of time, they can easily devote a good amount of time on solving it on their own for the first time. And from the second time onwards, they can go on to video solution quickly if they've lost what the solution was. So that way it would stick in the memory.
Right, 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 right. So,
Even in this year's PB paper, that first question of mathematics, something told me that I would be able to do it because I had seen that type of questions before. And I had a feeling that I'm about to get the answer, but I wasted 20-25 minutes there. And then I realized that something is not working. And it caused a bit of panic in my head that I've already lost 15-20 minutes I have to solve. So I went ahead and I skipped that questions for that time. I took other three questions I solved, and by that time I had ended up my 2 hours. So again, if I would have done it, maybe the whole set of questions, if I had done it one more time, maybe it would have came easily to me.
hmm,
But it
hmm.
took a little time. I lost 25 minutes. It was a bit of panic. After the exam, I thought I had done only three questions, but four was doable. So I thought maybe there are only 20-30 seats. So
Maybe not
maybe I
good
won't
enough.
get into it because people who are solving four questions. So
Yeah.
that I thought four question was better.
Yeah, so I think what worked for you was this urge of not looking at the solution in the first go, because when I looked at the paper, when I got feedback from the students, everybody told me the PV is really difficult. So I said, okay, I'll see the paper, and I saw the paper and I was like, okay, it seems okay. I mean,
Doable.
the maths question was difficult. There was a maths question which was
The first
difficult.
one, right?
Yeah, I think that was difficult. After that, then it got easy. But the first question, I think, played on the minds like it did.
Right.
And after that, people got a little scared. But every year, I feel that I look at the paper, people say, "Ma'am, बहुत tough था." Then I see the paper and I feel, ठीक था. मतलब, it was doable. It was
Yeah.
related to what we have
E-
done only.
yeah, even the first question, I mean, anyone who has solved mathematics properly, they would know that what concepts to apply, but it's just some tricks, what to tweak and where to fit in. That is what you need to find there. And in that situation, it was a bit difficult.
Yeah, that is true. So selecting questions plays a huge role in the exam, which
Right,
questions to do first, and making sure that the easier ones are done first. That is also a big thing. Like you said, that end में time nahi rehta hai.
right,
So to make sure that you get the easier questions under your belt and not waste time on the things that are challenging,
right,
that can also sometimes make a lot of difference.
right.
The
So
PV
after
cutoff
that,
was
yeah,
was really low.
yeah,
So
it was surprising for me also. I was
yeah,
thinking that maybe four question is what would help people go into the interview, but I saw the cutoff and I was like, okay, actually, if someone has done two questions properly, also they would also get into
they
the
also
interview.
get a call. Yeah, yeah. It's just panic. It's just nerves. I think PB really gets to people because
Yeah,
the cutoffs are really low. So
right,
that is also something that for us to understand that we don't have to do all the questions. We just have to
right,
make sure that you get the easier ones right.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
True.
All right, Samir, this is very insightful, and this is, I think, highly motivating for people who are in a challenging situation,
Mm.
because it's easy to be in an easy situation and do it, but you were in a challenging situation. A 9 to what were your timings? You said office timings?
12 to 9.
12 to 9. So a 12 to 9 job is a hard job. It's a full-time job. It's to
Right,
and to take out time after that, because people usually say, "Arey ma'am, college exams hai, ye hai, wo hai." But to have a 12 to 9 job tops all of that. I mean, it tops being in college and having to write your college exams. Having a 12 to 9 job is rigorous. So with
yeah,
that,
it is.
without having a prior base in economics, if you did, so that is commendable, and that is, I think, highly encouraging and motivating to the people out there.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Samir, and all the very best to you.
Yeah, thank you so much.